Now, I think it's fair to say that the Conservative Party is facing a challenging few months, struggling to keep hold of some Brexit supporters and trying to pull some of those young voters away from Jeremy Corbyn. So this week, I've been to Loughborough to speak to local MP Nicky Morgan and see what the voters and one of the great political bellwethers make of Theresa May. Prime Ministerial office is a heavy burden to bear, whilst there's no shortage of people ready to advise Theresa May, from big business to Boris Johnson. It can sometimes be difficult to tell whether they actually want to help or are in fact on the warpath. Much has been written about the wisdom of markets, but what of market towns? Do you know, the constituency of Loughborough is considered something of a political bellwether. It's reflected the national result at every general election since 1974. A perceptive bunch of voters indeed, all of which makes their views on Brexit and the woman responsible for delivering it rather interesting. How happy are you with the way things are going?
Awful. Terrible. I think we made a terrible mistake, and I think we're paying for it now, and we'll pay for it far more before we get out.
You're a Conservative voter, so question has to come. I mean, what do you make of Theresa May, that election result, and actually how she's performed since she's been in Downing Street? I
think she's the weakest leader we've had in many, many years. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the old MPs would be pleased to get rid of her, but there's no candidate out there that you would say is outstanding and would replace her.
The actual leaving Europe, I think, is a very good idea. I mean, I wouldn't run my own house like they would, expect other people to tell you what to do in your own house. You know, to me personally, I think that's wrong. We should be able to say what we want in this country for the best of our people.
What do you then make of the Conservative government at the moment, in particular Theresa May?
Not very good, to tell you the truth. I think she's fairly weak, to tell you the truth.
What do you make of Brexit and the way it's been handled at the moment?
Well, we voted for Brexit, and we're very disappointed at all the shilly-shallying and the havering about. We seem as though if we do succeed in coming out, and I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, I don't think it'll be any different. They're talking about staying in the single market, they're talking about a big divorce bill. Waste of time, to be honest. So, in your mind, then, is it just not the Brexit that was promised? What the Brexit we wanted that we were going to get.
Oh dear. Still, you can always rely on the young to be full of optimism and positivity.
I find that a lot of Conservative views, a lot of Conservative Party members and people seem to look down on the young people. They seem to say, oh, you only like Labour because they're offering you unrealistic free promises and stuff. And I feel this sort of dismissal of our views, dismissal of our voice, makes a lot of people feel really disenfranchised against the Conservatives. And we just don't really feel they care about us.
The Conservatives just seem to drone on about Brexit all the time. And when they released their manifesto, they mucked it up. And then you had Labour, Jeremy Corbyn, going out and meeting all these people and stuff. And it just seemed a lot more free-flowing and natural Corbyn, rather than the robotic Theresa May.
The deal hasn't even struck yet, and people are still complaining about, Brexit's led to the prices, inflation, it's doing this, there's uncertainty over jobs. I just feel that Conservatives are just not confident. If they do attract, it'll be difficult to attract me from Labour, to be honest. I know who I'm voting for. It'll be difficult, to be honest.
With the average age of a Conservative Party member rising to 72 and plenty of youthful opposition to Brexit, are concerns really being heard?